Hello and welcome to our new video where we are sharing the top 15 horror stories told from hotel employees. So please stay tuned. Number 1. I was cleaning rooms in a small Midwestern hotel. There'd been a rodeo over the weekend and the rooms were absolutely gross. I slogged through and came to one in which the bathroom was covered in blood, so much blood. I started cleaning, and when I reached behind the toilet to wipe the floor, I found something hard and small, like a pebble. I opened my rag to see what it was, and it was a fingertip. Someone had severed their fingertip. We still don't know what happened. Number 2. As a housekeeper, I had to deal with my share of blood stains, clogged toilets, and dirty underwear left behind. However, my best friend had the worst experience. As she was taking the sheets off the bed, she jerked the comforter off, and a used condom flew out of it and smacked her in the face. Number 3. We got a call stating that there was a couple screaming very loudly. We called the police and went up to the room. When the guy opened the door, he was covered in blood. Apparently he was with his girlfriend and a hooker. He got mad that his girlfriend refused to have a threesome with them, so he punched a hole through the door of the microwave, shredding his hand in the process. There was blood everywhere. Number 4. I was working one of my final night shifts at the front desk. As I checked in one person, I saw a woman walk through the lobby, supporting an intoxicated guest. I assumed they were together. A few minutes later, that woman came back and said she was a cab driver and the hotel guest who she brought in passed out in the hallway. I went to check on him, and he was unresponsive and covered in vomit. I called 911. He ended up being fine, but one of the paramedics told me he pooped all the way up and down the hallway. I had to glove up and clean it. I wrote a very detailed email to my boss, and during my last shift the following day she gave me a $50 gift card to Target. Number 5. My worst experience was when I was in charge of housekeeping. A young man stayed at our motel, and he somehow got vomit everywhere, and I mean everywhere, except in the bathroom. It was behind the TV, on the curtains, under both beds. We had to completely strip the entire room to clean up the fried rice and beer vomit. Number 6. I was about to leave my shift, and it was 12:30 in the morning. Suddenly a man came running through the lobby, yelling if we had seen anyone leave. Apparently he had brought a woman back to his room, who turned out to be a trans prostitute, and when the guy refused to pay for services provided, she got mad and took $200 worth of mini bar goodies and ran. I ultimately had to call the cops on him. I don't know if he was arrested or put in the drunk tank, but you better believe I charged him for the night and that mini bar. Number 7. I was working as a housekeeper in a 14th century castle in Scotland, which was used as a wedding venue. While cleaning the room, I found a literal bag of poop in a drawer, like it was a proper log in a clear freezer bag. After nearly spewing and throwing it in the garbage, I told a co-worker. He informed me that people use frozen poop to stick up their butts as a sex act, and it's used to aid orgasm. Iglooing is a term I've never forgotten, and I never will. Number 8. A family of 7 was staying in our huddle, and after they left for the day our housekeeper came down to the desk and complained about how she wasn't going to clean their room. We went up to investigate and found multiple dead birds in the bathroom sink with all kinds of other weird charms and books on the counter. Their explanation was that it was religious. Seems like they were doing some sort of ritual with the birds as a sacrifice. So gross. Number 9. One night a man who was staying at the hotel sleepwalked and left his room. You'd think you'd wear clothes to bed if you're a sleepwalker, but he didn't. He got locked out, came down to the front desk, naked, and asked for a new key. It must have been an awful experience for him, but checking him out of the hotel the next morning, and knowing that he had a tattoo on his butt, made it even funnier. Number 10. I had just started working at a really fancy hotel. A group wanted to check in, and my co-worker recognized them from a previous stay. I was called to the back, and was told that the people in the group were amateur porn actors, and the last time they were here they left literal shit all over the hotel room. We called our general manager to say they were back, and he said we needed to be able to hold $500 on their card in order for them to rent the room, sort of as a security deposit. Their cards declined the hold, so they asked us to make an exception, but there was no chance in hell that was going to happen, so they finally gave up and left. Number 11. Housekeeping brings forgotten items to the front desk in case the guests call to claim them after they've checked out. I once had a housekeeper bring up a fleshlight, the sex toy, with her bare hands, tapped it multiple times on her face, and said, "The guest in room, whatever, left this flashlight thingy in their room." I was mortified for her. Poor thing almost cried when she found out what it was. Number 12. The worst thing I witnessed was when I worked at a hotel bar and a lady came in and told me the bathroom needed to be cleaned. I thought maybe they needed some toilet paper, so I popped in to look. I was greeted by something from a horror movie. On the lovely marble floor, going from one stall to another and leading to the sinks, was a trail of literal poop. Someone had diarrhea and shit on the floor of one stall and then went into the next one and somehow managed to get it absolutely everywhere. It was all over the floor, the toilet seats, and even smeared on the walls. One of the housekeepers came to clean the ungodly mess, and she said she would rather be fired than clean up that much human excrement, so the manager had to do it himself. It literally looked like the shit hit the fan. Number 13. One time a guest requested that we put a framed picture of Derek Zoolander in his room, so we did. Number 14. I was a hotel maid for a month in college. One day I was making a guy's bed and I saw a stack of DVDs. Curious, I decided to go through them to see what he was like. The first couple were regular movies, and then the rest had graphic porn scenes on them. I was horrified, but couldn't stop going through them, and at the bottom of the stack of all these porn DVDs, probably 10 or so, was a DVD titled something to the effect of How to Play a DVD on Windows, which to this day still makes me laugh. I like that he was fully prepared for his porn binge. Number 15. I was working the front desk, and one morning a housekeeper ran downstairs, screaming, "301 is dead." I called emergency services, trying to get as many details as possible from this poor woman. She saw a body on the bed with an electrical cord around the neck. The police arrived, I gave them a key, and after a few minutes one of the officers came down and said, "There's no body." Apparently some guys decided to leave a fake murder scene for us to find to be funny. The officer said it was so realistic, he didn't notice it was fake until he went to take the sheet away from the head. Our housekeeper was traumatized. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe.